Welcome back to another episode of Unrated Podcast. You got Grant, also got Elijah. Hope everybody had a good time off for the holiday. We're back with you all. Going to just be talking a little bit about some summer league for the Pistons, talking about Twin, Marcus Sasser, just how they developed. Also talk about some of the other like 1-2 year guys as well, and how they looked. And yeah, I'll throw it over to you, Eli, to kind of just kick it off. Just wanted to kind of hear about just kind of start things off, just overall, how you thought the team has looked. And then from there, we'll kind of dive into every individual and just kind of analyze.
Yeah. So as I still think this is a like clay being molded as far as a lot of our big dogs is obviously not in there. So this is just the young guys fighting for a roster spot, fighting for their lives. But I generally speaking, I do like what I'm seeing. I think we're beginning to turn the page a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see kind of the path of what we're taking as far as some of the players we've drafted. Some of the players I still kind of question of how they're going to fit in, whether it's Marcus Sasser, when we got Killian Hayes, things of that nature. But overall, I like the competitiveness. I like we're running the floor, looking good, looking athletic,
Yeah.
and there's all things that are positive signs as far as just obviously we could go into the season, all this would go out, right out the window. But I just looking at it, it looks like a team that's more energized and kind of ready to come out and fight, not ready to come out and lay down. And I would love to see the infusion of Cade and Boban and all the rest of like the real roster guys with some of these guys as well.
Yep.
And that's kind of what I'm looking for here. The guy that jumps off the page to me the fastest, the most would be Duran.
Yes.
Like you can tell he's been putting in work um, since the season has ended throughout the last season, his rookie year, and I think he's ready to turn the page as well and really come into his own. So that's the guy that's kind of really jumped off the screen for me. I mean, you were sending me some of those clips that were surfacing on Twitter. It didn't even look like him. It looked, it looked like he is forming his game into, and I hate to even say this, but like a Anthony Davis type, where clearly he's already got the defensive side. He's tall, he's athletic, lengthy, and then you put a little bit of offensive game with that, and you got a real player, a real weapon. And I
Yep.
think kind of what he's proven he can do. I think last year he was in, if it wasn't around the rim, wasn't around the basket, he was more or less ineffective. Now
Yep.
he's up, coming off pick and rolls, picking and popping, making moves, attacking the basket, shooting. I think as a guy who's only 19 years old, that is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And the sky's the limit for him. I think that would be, if I'm going to point to one player that I'm most impressed with through the summer league, it'd be him. But overall, I mean, I like what I see. It's just a matter of doing it when it counts.
Yep. Yeah. I'm right there with you. I think you're seeing some strides coming from the right players, right? Like we
Mm-hmm.
already knew it was good from Ivy. Um, I think with Duran, it was just like, I mean, literally, he had no type of offensive game, really, if you're being honest. Like when he got drafted and to just like be like casually watching the game and watching him just kind of look like, Embiid just up there really like handling, like top, the elbow, a little
Yep.
bit of, fall back, fall away, little fadeaway jumper. Um, it shows me, it's really been putting that work in. I mean, that's that really show. I mean, I've seen a couple of clips of him and Isaiah Stewart. Obviously it's like wide open jumpers, but like watching him just be able to hit the corner three, just I think he hit like 5 or 6 out of like 8 in the little clip. You know what I mean? So I think that's just showing, that we got the anchor. I can confidently say we got that anchor down low.
Yep.
That we've been really been missing since getting Andre Drummond. I feel so that was definitely promising. And yeah, I think overall, the team, just with like the rookies, like with Asor and Marcus Sasser, I think with Twin, it was really he got an interesting game, very raw prospect. I know I've been talking to you quite a bit about just very like raw, got a lot of, but we at the upside though, right? But like what I noticed with him, that's I kind of like with his game, he's like a stat sheet stuffer, like a positive way. Like he kind of looked like a Harrison guy. I felt like a little Draymond, just really, you know, I think he had like 9, 6, and 4, making the impact on the defensive side of the ball. I think he had a couple blocks one game. Can pass it. The jumper solid. He's athletic. I feel like I think just I could see him in that kind of role. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be honest, like kind of like if that's like what they see, I'm kind of confused by it, just kind of based on our team is matched up or not matched up, but like set up. You know what I'm saying? Just with like essentially 3-point guards that we've drafted in the last 3 years. So it's interesting, but it was also one of the things where I think we got like best available, and I could see him definitely being like a nice like 6 man to where he could be like a
Yeah.
year or two from now, maybe, either in the starting lineup or like running the second unit in a certain way to where he could be productive in that way, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how he like molds and gets like the jumper and gets more of an offensive game and everything. But like, it's just he has an interesting skill set that I think will translate very well. It's just gonna be odd to see how it fits
Right.
amongst all the other guards.
I agree. I think I'm still a little. I think he'll be an okay player.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if in 3 or 5 years we'll look up and somebody like Taylor Hendricks will have a bigger impact or whatever. I do think he'll be a solid player though. I think what he does show is just a raw athleticism, and I think I'm agreeing with you. Is right. He has raw. He's just raw, but
Mm-hmm.
athletic, and he seems to put himself in the right spots at the right
High
time.
IQ.
Yeah, high IQ. He knows the game pretty well. So I mean, if you're athletic, you're willing to learn the game. You already know, like you said, have a high IQ. It is only a matter of time for you to put all that together to be a pretty solid player.
Yep.
I don't know how much he would theoretically impact us on winning in 2023, 2024, but I think I'm not mad at that, and I see the vision there
Mm-hmm.
as just a long wing, athletic defense, and I think they're thinking, okay, Caden Ivey, the 1-2 punch. You got Duran in the middle. Let's try to get, like you said, that kind of floater where he could be a point forward, or he also could be just a play small ball with him,
Mm-hmm.
and really play athletically that way. I think that's
Yep.
kind of what we're envisioning, that where we're just going to go small ball. He might be like the 4 uh, with like Stewart and being the 5,
Yeah.
or
Or Bagley. Yeah.
some weird lineup like that where you just try to see if we're just gonna throw some weird shit at you and see if you can even guard this, and then try to run the floor like crazy. That's kind of how
Mm-hmm.
it's working. I think that's our best shot at winning games, is just to try to, obviously we want to play defense, but run people out the gym um, with our athletes, with our speed and athleticism. So I
Yeah.
agree with that. So um, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out into the season, because I mean we haven't really talked about some of the signing or um, I guess trades. Not really didn't sign anybody, but like the Monte Morris or the Joe Harris, um, you know, proven players when they're healthy. Joe Harris in particular, Monte Morris. Obviously, I being a Flintstone, I have a lot of love for him.
Love
Um,
Monte Morris. Yeah.
love Monte Morris. I think that was a fantastic pickup. And just looking at the roster from like 1,000 foot view, I think that was a fantastic pickup because Monte Morris has been in the league, I don't know, probably a good 5 years, 6 years at this point. Had some pretty good success with the Nuggets. I would have loved for him to get a ring there, but he got pushed out before the ring came. Had a good year last year as well, and that's really what he is. I think with Cade and Ivy, he's the perfect person that can go out there with either one of those.
Yep.
He could be an off ball guard with either one of them, or he could be the point guard and they be the shooting guard with either one of them. I think that's kind of where his role and to come in as a veteran leader and kind of hold it down and look the stats up in more or less limited minutes. He wasn't definitely starter minutes. He averaged 10 and 5 and shot 38% from three. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's, to keep checking those boxes as far as what you need.
And
I
it
think that
was
was a fantastic pickup. Yeah.
yeah. And I think the thing I just like about him, you gotta allude to it, just being able to like be ready. You know what I'm saying? Great bet. When Murray was down, I mean, he was holding
Yep.
it down for like. Granted, Jokic was a real point guard, but just be able to be in that step in like that. They were still solid, still made the playoffs. He just really showed that he's a solid point guard like off the bench and an upgrade too
Yeah.
from Corey Joseph. So I just think,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, night and day better than Corey Joseph.
yes,
Night and day better than Diallo.
yep.
Night
So
and day
that's
better than night.
so this
Yeah.
is one of them that you like the move, and then definitely obviously with this and Sasser and Thompson, obviously people want to get shipped out here in a second. And I do
Yep.
just kind of how we were able to do like a um small upgrade. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And then also getting Joe Harris. That was another huge pickup. Basically got sharpshooter from three. I think he's a career like 41, 42% 3-point shooter. So yeah, I think overall I feel like I feel like I'm in a spot where I'm kind of like trying to be patient because I do think we're now to a point in this rebuild where we're not going to take any swings. Like I think this year is going to be like how many games they going to win and do we have a top 25 guy, on the roster before we just ship off the wrong guy. I think that's kind of what we setting ourselves up for, just with these small moves. Somebody come available might, take a swing. I think I heard we might be a part of that Blazers trade. What I'm saying, just kind of like maybe making it, helping it go all the way through, getting off a couple people. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see Bogdanovich, like what comes of that, and just a lot of different things in play
There's
overall.
lots of question marks. I agree. Lots of question marks. And I don't think this is obviously I don't think this is the final roster we're going into the season with.
Yeah,
Uh, and I think somebody just like a lot of players just ran their course. I think Killian has a spot in this league, but he doesn't have a spot in this league on our team because we took him with like the fifth pick. I think he could probably find footing somewhere else and be you know a darling to that team. But as
he's
far
got
as
such a bad start.
yeah, such a bad start,
COVID
and then
year, got hurt,
yep,
no summer league.
just can't. Some nights he can't hit the side of the basket. The everybody in the league knows that they play us funny on defense because of that.
Yeah,
I just think you putting in somebody. I don't know. He probably averaged what 20 something minutes a game last year. You put Monte Morris right in that same spot where we're night and day better team.
yes, yeah,
And able to play real basketball where teams aren't double teaming Cade because they know Ivy can't or Killian Hayes
yeah.
can't shoot shit. You're not, whatever the case may be. We're just looking a little more functional, and
Mm-hmm.
I really do like that pickup. Uh, Joe Harris, it is what it is. I think what I exactly wrote down is, it is what it is. It's a 1 year deal. If it doesn't work out, it's not the end of the world.
Traded by the
Um,
trade deadline.
yeah, yep. I
He
think
could
he's one of them
find somebody
guys.
maybe.
When he's healthy, yeah, he's one of the better 3-point shooters in the league. But that's about it. We already have one of those on the team in Bogdanovich. So I think that was more of an this is a whole nother conversation, but I recently learned that I think effective this year for the first time, or maybe last year for the first time, you have to have 90% of your salary cap accounted for.
Yeah,
So that's why at least what I've heard and read, that's why we're going out doing things like Joe Harris, because because it's a 1 year deal. It soaks up some of the salary cap that we need. And we're
yeah,
not getting locked into a 3 or 4 year deal with like a Fred VanVleet or, somebody like that. Um, but I also think playing that game, I mean, we did this last year as well with Kemba Walker. And I think we had another guy as well that we bought out. So it's
yep,
one of those things where I get it, but eventually we're just giving away free money. So maybe we should get a player that we think can affect us and help us this year versus thinking, oh, we'll have
yeah.
70 million next year, we'll have 95 million a year after. That's one of the things where I have to be honest. It is a little like I
Mm.
don't I
You get
see the
real.
vision, but it's also like if you don't land one of those big players, or if Cade goes down again, knock on wood for us, knock on wood for him, we're looking very bad. And
Yeah, because like
then you don't have somebody like a Cam Johnson who, yeah, he might not have the ceiling as a Cade, but he definitely doesn't have the floor as a Joe Johnson. So it's
yeah.
like, I don't know.
Like you wonder if that's the one I was like, man, I wonder if they even I wouldn't have even mind if they tried to overpay Cam Johnson, to be honest with you. We could have gave him 25, like probably 27, 30 a year. I would have, like, that would have been fine with that because I think he's worth that. And it just happened so quick that he just got signed to where I agree. Like, I think that, like, we just been in this weird part of the rebuild where we just kind of been helping everybody else out. Like, we traded for Joe Harris and then they like gave Cam Johnson an extension. You
Yes.
know, we took on Nerlens Noel and Kemba Walker and then Jalen Brunson. Like, we were talking about Jalen Brunson on here as an
Yes.
option. Watching play against who I compared Cade to, and they sign him, they
Agree.
go to the playoffs, and we was the worst team in the league. You know, it's been, and then yeah, I mean, we did a trade. We got stuck with James Wiseman, and I hope I'm wrong about James Wiseman. We can get with him, talk about him a little bit here in a sec too. But like, just to help the Warriors, like, get into the playoffs, basically.
Yes.
So some of them are odd, and I think if you look at like the whole free agent market, maybe they just didn't really see somebody that like moved the needle like that for them. So maybe it was just like, all right, well, we can just take this contract, or I think because I think he got traded, right? And we gave he got like 20 mil, something like I think he got traded to us for a couple of second round picks.
Yeah. Yeah. I think two second round. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I look at it as like, all right, it don't work out. Maybe we just deal them before the trade deadline or something like that, and kind of keep it rolling. But I guess that's kind of how I like looked at the move, essentially,
Yeah.
to where it don't hurt to have maybe two. I don't think they can play that much together, but to just have one in that second unit to just spread the floor a little more until further
Right.
notice, essentially.
Yeah. No, I guess I get the move and then I question
Yeah,
it. It's
you're
like
right.
yeah,
Because we didn't
it
swing
feels
for
like if
Cam
it,
how I thought we should have. Like,
right. Like, I mean, if we're sitting here right now and we had Jalen Brunson on the team and we had Cam on the team and Cade and Killian and Dern, we would be talking like, hey, we're fucking making the plan for sure, not
yeah,
questioning how many wins we'll have. And
right.
now the part where I kind of suffer is, okay, is it better to make the playoffs or play in this year and then in 3 years not be that good because we have all these contracts, or is it better in hopefully 3 years we're in like the Eastern Conference Finals? It's one of those,
Yeah,
like, I think it's a high risk, high reward, um, where we are still I don't know. It's just it's tough, and it sucks to be a fan
we're
right now
we're like
because
in the mud. We're like it's like spinning. Yeah, and I feel you because I think like I mean I'll be honest with me. I think that what took the kind of the wind out of the sail was just like not getting a top three pick.
yes,
So then it's like, okay, I'm watching Brandon Miller go for 25, hit a stride, 26-2 is looking crazy. Athletic, like that was like that's what we needed.
yep,
And then it just, yeah, I think that just kind of like really, I feel like personally probably like threw like really like a big wrench into a lot of things because now we're just kind of like sitting here with like I think now the team's kind of sitting here like, well, we took best available, we got guards and centers.
yeah,
And
and I think I
like,
agree, and I think he was probably the best available, but I also think I really don't know. I don't know if he's the best available. I think he
yeah,
was
can't wait
the
more.
best prospect available. Hey,
Can't wait more.
I agree with that, and I agree with Taylor Hendricks. I would have
Yep.
been
Yeah.
if we look at
Yes.
3 or 5 years, Azar could be the better of all of them. He
Hmm.
also could not be in the league in 3 or 5 years, where
Yeah.
Cam and Taylor Hendricks are NBA players for the next 10 years, regardless if they're stars or role players.
Yep.
We have a guy who was playing in a prep league and was a second pick behind his brother, and there's a bunch of funny business happening. And I'm not hating on him because I do think he's going to be solid, but I
Yeah.
think that he was the best prospect available, maybe not the best ready-made player. And I think
Yeah.
that kind of frustrates me a little bit with that because you're right. Even if we got screwed out of the first pick and we got the second or third, we're getting basically another
Cornerstone
player. Yeah,
or
not a
leverage to trade for,
yeah.
do
Or
whatever we
yeah,
could do to like make us better in
yeah.
some other way.
We could have. Yeah, I agree. We could have messed around and got Dane, messed around and got somebody like that if you get the second or third pick. Lots of extra things are in the motion.
Yeah.
Uh, if you luck up and get that. So I I don't know. It's a lot
Would
to
you?
question here, but
Yeah. No, I feel you. What do you think about like what do you think about I mean the Sasser pick? Like I think I kind of can go first, but I just like so once again, like that was, at the time I'm like, okay, this tell me Killian gone, but then it's like, okay, you also have Marcus Morris. And I think, like I said, I think we're just like in a weird holding pattern. I feel like people are going to depart here soon. It's just a matter of when, whether it's going to be like training camp, trade deadline, August. But I like Sash's game, watched him quite a bit in college, but it was, you got like an undersized point guard that can shoot, but like once again, not really moving the needle. Like,
Yeah,
I struggle with getting out of that draft without a wing player when that was literally like you look at like the
biggest.
starting lineup last year, and that was we had Bogdanovich, but it was still like we have no defensive depth there. We have like no depth at the wing position. We found a way to still not. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of strange to me.
No, so I mean, as far as Sasser goes, I don't know. I don't want to be overly dramatic, but I just generally don't get it.
Yeah.
Watched a little clip they put together about him as a couple of days leading up to the draft, and I mean that made me like him a little bit. His family seems cool. He said he wanted to go to the Pistons like 2 days before the draft. They're
Mm-hmm.
hanging out at the house, like I bought in a little bit. But then when
Yeah.
I think about it, it's like that pick made sense if you didn't go trade for Monte Morris a week later. That
Mm-hmm.
like you, he's not going to get minutes over Monte. He's not going to get minutes over Cade. He's not getting minutes over Ivy. He's if Killian's on the team, he's probably not getting minutes over Killian.
He's
So
probably the G League, if we're being honest,
yes, so it's like, what are we doing there? I
as of
would have much
today.
rather take another gamble, maybe a Bates, maybe somebody of that nature, where you really at least you're swinging for the fences.
Right.
Bates could be a top 30, 50, 30 player in this league, or he could just fizz out and it'd be crazy. But at least you have that in hand. So I think that's kind of where I look at that, and I just don't. I wonder. Like you're probably right. He probably is in a G League.
Yeah.
And I just looked. I didn't want to speak wrong, but the fact that Killian's not playing summer league, that lets me know he's getting traded. Like, uh,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you're a developing player still in your third year. They don't want you no more, bro. He's probably in fucking Paris right now. Right.
Yeah.
So,
No, that's a fact. Now I gotta ask. Now I got to about Wiseman because I
yeah. So I have a whole little thing about the. Yeah, I agree.
I don't, I don't, I don't.
Go
I'll
for
be
it.
honest. Yeah, I don't like that we. I'll be honest. I don't really like that we even have Wiseman. Just being honest, like I don't really. I don't. I mean, maybe backup center. I guess is Nerlens. I don't know if Nerlens well still on the team or not. But like, it's kind of like, well, and if I ask you like, based on the state of this team, who'd you rather have? Would you rather have like Nerlens Noel? Would you rather have James Wiseman? Just kind of based on
Yeah.
career, like where we want the team to go. We're like we're on the back end of the rebuild, right? Hopefully, like
Yeah.
hopefully we're gonna be at 30, 33 wins this year. That's the hope. If everybody stay healthy. So like, what do you think about? I just if it didn't work for the Warriors, I know that obviously they're in a way different spot than we are, but like he wasn't even getting on the court there. He wasn't even on the team. Like, he was in the G League, so it's just weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, what
I
do you
think
think?
it's the same exact situation we have with Azar.
Guard. Oh yeah,
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 as far as like Norland's Dwell is a solid NBA player. If he gets 20 minutes a night, he's affecting the game positive. But we know what he is. Wiseman theoretically could still be an all-star. And I think that's the lore of it all, where they're like, okay, yeah, look what he could be. He's a second
yeah.
pick 3 years ago, versus like Norland's Dwell. He's probably not even 30 years old, but he's old and washed up as far as the league's concerned.
Right.
Uh, and and Wiseman will be in a similar predicament as Norland's well in probably 5 or 7 years, where he just develops. He's just a role player that's is what it is. He didn't work out to
Backup
be
center,
good.
forward.
Um,
Yeah.
so no, I agree with you on that. And so
Because man, Wiseman, he don't even have like he don't got
these are the names I wrote down. I wrote the big man issue: Duran, Stewart, Wiseman, and Bagley. Um, Duran has been putting in work. I think his spot solidified.
Yep.
Stewart just got the new bag last night or
He ain't
2 days
going
ago.
nowhere.
Spot solidified. Bagley got the bag last year.
Not going nowhere.
Going nowhere. Wiseman is the odd man out. He's, it is what it is. They could have gave him that bag last year instead of Bagley, but Bagley must have showed a slight bit more.
I was going
And
nuts
I don't
for
even agree that we should have did that, but it
yeah,
is. I guess it is what it is, and I hate to keep saying that, but
yeah.
I
It's
don't
just funny
necessarily
because
agree with that. But Wiseman is the odd man out when you consider all things considered. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
at least I'll say about them contracts is, I mean, I hate to say this, but this is just what we are right now. Like, at least they tradable. They both like 16, 20 mil. So it's like, I think they both deserved it. I think they are like players. I'll be honest, I thought Isaiah Stewart, I'm not gonna lie, I thought he's gonna be shipped off. Like I thought that was one to where, but I think they were watching Wiseman and they're like, okay,
yeah.
shit. I'm playing. I think
Yeah.
no, Stewart
No,
deserved it. He
you're right.
got that jumper, you know what I'm saying? Like he really like he nice. He gonna be, I think this year he'll be a double guy, like 12, 10. I think he'll be a solid player. But yeah, we just need a wing player, man. We need a
I
couple,
agree.
we need some, we gotta like I don't and Sorg can probably play a little bit of that too. He's 6'7", so maybe he get thrown out there. I think one thing that I do like about him, he get thrown out there, he can guard maybe the best defender on some nights to let Cade and Jaden,
Mm-hmm.
exert
And
more
that
energy
might have
around.
been part of the plan as well, where
Yep.
that is definitely his most ready part of the game. He's athletic and he wants to play defense. It was obviously the hardest,
Yep.
you know. I mean, I think lots of people can play defense, but nobody wants to. And the fact that he
Right.
is seeking it out, yeah, I agree with you on that. So
He's a
I see the
slasher,
vision,
lob
but it's
threat
just like
too.
it's time to these pipe dreams need to end. We need to start putting some victories together. But I just looked up Wiseman and Bagley stats, practically identical.
Ooh.
25 minutes, 13 points, 8 rebounds. 23 minutes, 12.7 rebounds.
I guess the only thing with Bagley is like at least we've seen him pop.
Yep.
Like in the 2021, him and Cade
Yep.
had something going.
And the simple fact that we just said Wiseman might be playing to try to find someone to try to trade for him. That
Yeah,
might be why they're out there featuring him. It's like, hey,
yeah,
try to earn some exposure here. So
yeah,
but I came to that realization earlier today when after Stewart signed, and then I started thinking, I was like, all right, Bagley got the deal a couple, like I think probably about this time last year.
yeah.
Uh,
I,
Duran, if we could lock him up right now for that same Stewart deal, they would do it in a heartbeat probably.
he gonna get 200 mil.
Yeah,
I
he
think him and
yes,
Cade is
and
Jaden will too.
that's why I think we have, if Cade stays healthy, knock on wood, Cade, Ivy, Duran, Bogdanovich, you know,
Yeah.
if we can get 70, 65 games with them guys, I think they're winning a good 35, 40% of those games,
Mm-hmm.
which would put us somewhere in that mid 30s range if they played a whole year, which is where we need to be as far as a natural progression.
Yeah.
If we go out there and I mean, if it's December 15th and we're out there 2-11, it's like it's dead in the water. And I think, I'm probably turning off for a while as far as I just can't do it again. It's oh and I
Because this is one big thing too that kind of gets we kind of like forget about, but it's easy to because it's tough. It's been tough to watch, but like games played, Bogdanovich 59, K 12, Ivy 74, Sadiq 52, Wiseman 24, Bagley 42. I forgot that Bagley. We thought he tore his shit all the way up. Remember that second game?
yes,
Oh, glad it wasn't nothing bad, but Stewart
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Stewart 50, Killian 76. I mean, you look at like Duran 67. Um
Yeah.
Corey Joseph 62, Livers 52. I mean, I can't there's like two guys on here that played more than 70 games, and then there's like maybe I mean there's three that played more than 60. So I think that's one thing we just hope that like I just hope look at this roster, and I'm really just staring at Cade because I'm like, this is it's
This is
time.
it. This is it.
25, 8, and 8. We ready for it.
I mean, if he comes out, I mean, knock on wood for him, but if he misses more than 25 games this year, I think we got to start to say he's just one of them guys that stays injured. Like it, and it, and it probably got to begin to blow it up as far as not having him in the equation. And that's the serious truth. Like, I hate to say that, but I think he missed a significant amount of games his rookie year. He probably missed a good 25 then. He
Hmm.
missed 70 last year.
Yeah.
So I think, we got to have a pretty clean slate here. You got to come out there 65 North games. Obviously, anybody can get a little ankle twist, finger jam, miss a couple things here and
Right.
there. But I think
He was
we got
playing through what he had. Like that was like they had to just kind of shut him down for. Hopefully, you hope for the long run. Like I hope because I think that's really like once he played 12 games, it was curtains. Like
yep,
I mean that I think if he would have been able to play at least like 70, you're looking at maybe 30 wins. You look and we not mailing it in like mid-January.
yes, yeah, no, he mailed it. We mailed it in early. I think after he went down, and they're like, "Oh, these guys have no chance. Let's see what
No.
Ivy can do. Let's see what Durant can do. Let
And I just
Bogdanovich."
and I'll keep it 100. I was just so irritated watching Bogdanovich just score 25, 30. And we're just why is he still there?
Why? That's a fantastic weapon. Yeah.
But yeah,
But no, I don't know if you want to do predictions, but I think the way this roster's looked is I think we have to hit the 30 mark. I think that should be
yes.
like that's a
Yep.
respectable amount of losses, not even wins. That's a respect, like we got to get into
Oh,
the
for
category.
sure.
Um,
I'm
and that's
I just want to look at like the conference standings last year and just like really kind of evaluate uh kind of see where guys was at and just kind of look at their teams compared to ours, just really see. All right, so after the AC, Raptors, Bulls, so 30 wins basically get you to the 14 seed.
yeah.
So I mean, yeah, Magic had 34, 13 seed. They had 12 win turnaround from the previous year. So
I mean, I think we could blow the top off. I don't want to put unrealistic expectations. I think what I really want to see is healthiness, and
yep.
with healthiness, we can gauge what we have. We don't even really know what we have right now as
Right. We
far
only
as
have enough guys to give teams trouble night in, night out. Like you know what I'm saying? We got not no knock to we got G League guys out there. We got, like just got Killian out there quite a bit. If we can just, stay healthy and just kind of like I said, I think we can at least add
yeah.
12, 15 games
And I'm
to
not
the
saying I'm not saying for sure, but how many games do we win? 16?
17.
Okay. And we have 4 wins when Cade went down on November 9th.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that's 4. He went down in the first 11. That's 4-8, which still isn't great. But considering the rest of the 70 games, we only won 13 of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
If
it
K
is
was on the team, what I'm trying to say is if K was on the team, we're closer to 30% wins or whatever. Like, what I mean, as far as
yeah.
he was winning 4 of 8. I don't know. I'm trying to do some math on that, but I think that is a more accurate to maybe if K stayed healthy of what we could have been.
Right. Yeah, I mean you look, like I think definitely Raptors taking a step back for sure. Bulls probably taking a step back. Pacers, I think like they were bad because they had, because LaMelo got hurt. So you expect them to be kind of be back in the mix. I think there is some opportunity to just kind of maybe flirt with that
Yep.
11-12 line. I think that's just, what I'm saying. You just want to be competitive going out this going, end of the season with a bang. That's kind of like all I ask, at least for this season.
Agreed. And you've said this, you've been the champion of this, and I play some damn defense. Like
Yeah.
I'm
Wild.
looking at I don't even want to say this. I have our whole season and I rearranged it by opponent's points. We gave up 150, 147, 142, about 15 games in the 130 range. It's just unbelievable. Like I see 150 points. The Bucks put 150 on us on January 23rd.
Mailed it in too.
Yeah. So it's just this is bad.
Yeah.
And that's unexcusable. I mean, obviously the league has changed a little bit, but you got to hold somebody to sub 110, sub 108. Yeah, you
You
gotta.
definitely do. And
I mean, yeah,
yeah, I mean, I think mine is the guy. I'll tell you one team I keep looking at that really be having me like, all right, like when we gonna pop like this is OKC. Like they literally homegrown. They got Shy from or Shea from the Clippers, but they homegrown. They all drafted there. They got 35 draft picks over the next 7 drafts,
Yeah.
15 first rounders, and sitting pretty.
Yep. I agree
Just
with you. We could look at somebody like that, or obviously I've never thought I'd say this, but somebody like the Sun or the Kings, pretty
yeah,
homegrown.
yeah,
Pop,
for sure.
been sitting there with Fox for the last 5 years. Nobody's really known about him. He's been good, but you know, you put it all together, and then Sabonis. I mean, they got a little team there. I think those two teams are somebody you could look to say they, for use a generic term, pulled themselves up by their bootstraps and made some things happen. And
Yep.
it wasn't by signing Kawhi or Devin
Right.
Devin Booker or somebody. You know what I mean? They
Couple
year in
moves.
build year in and year out. Go get
Yep.
Jeremy Grant popped. Go get
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. So I think 30, 32 wins, that'll be like if we hit 30, I might shave my beard. No, I'm playing. I'm not shaving. I need more than that. But
for
no, we
30.
can
Do it for 30.
hell no. We can do 30. They need 30 wins though. I think that'll be like a successful season. You go into the draft, late little lottery pick, and like you hope from then it's like, okay,
I mean,
try to
they've already proven that you can have like the fifth worst record and get the first pick. So hopefully that happens to us.
yeah, seriously. Yeah. I mean, it could be one of them things where it's like we don't try to just mail it in and maybe we get lucky and end up getting top 3 next year.
Right.
I heard they got some dogs in there next year too. That's what I've heard at least.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think it's one of those we have so many moving parts and they need to kind of organize. And I'm hoping that Monty Williams can kind of hone that all in. I'm hoping, just replacing some of the Corey Josephs type for Monte Morris, those little type of swap outs. Yeah,
upgrade.
the everyday person that doesn't really watch basketball might not know either one of their names, but those are two completely different type of players. And I think Monte Morris proven he's a winner. Joe Harris, I don't really care. He could go out there and get hot. I mean, I seen him with Nets 3 or 4 years back with him and KD. That was KD's running man after everybody went down.
Worst case scenario, trade bait. I mean,
Yep.
Somebody could swing and we could like, all right, bet, and then he could fizzle out. As soon as we ship him off, and yeah, hopefully we can maybe kind of unlock him for a little bit. Give us, I guess, either get it, we either get hot and he helping the cause, or wheels start falling off and we get him up out of town.
If he hit like 6 threes in a game, we got to put him on a trade block immediately.
Yeah, he on a trade block right now. He don't even know it. He on there waiting. 2024 mock draft got us first.
Yeah, come get him. But yeah, I think we're gonna try to hit the Pistons a little bit more the next couple of weeks. Start wrapping up, gearing up for football season here. Obviously, how we rep Michigan, repping Lions here. Definitely completely different situation than where the Pistons currently are. It might be a little more joyful, but
yeah, we just went on
the Lions are always going to give us a headache. And so you never know. But I'm looking forward to some of that talk and be interesting here. But a little bit more summer league to wrap up. I'm sure they're going to put kind of the finishing touches, bow tie on this roster, and we'll keep in touch for that. But anything else for the people?
That's all I got. Be in with y'all for a little more Pistons talk in the coming weeks.
Peace.